Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and we've got some news about Ogre Battle. You might have already seen it, but it looks like Square Enix is getting ready to bring out a new Ogre Battle game. Let's go ahead and dig in. So most fans of this channel will be simultaneously fans of Ogre Battle. Unfortunately, we haven't had the entire, I think we're missing 2 releases in the West of the Ogre Battle franchise, but we definitely got the Super Nintendo version, we got the N64 version, and we definitely got the PSP version because that's the last version I played. I'm excited because the last one that I played, which was the PSP version, I'm probably too young to remember the N64 version and then the Super Nintendo version, but I mean, I would have been 6 years old when the original Super Nintendo version came out. But where all of this is coming from, I should probably say all of this first, is that a trademark has been made on the Japanese side for Tactics Ogre Reborn. Now, this would, of course, be a new Tactics Ogre game. I'm a little unsure with the Reborn title. I am kind of curious if it's going to be a remaster or a remake. Most likely that would be of the PSP or the N64 version of the game. Personally, I would like to see a new version of the game. Like, there's a lot of people, because of course, you know, this channel is for War of the Visions and we play mobile games. The first thing that I was kind of thinking about is this going to be a mobile game? And I kind of got like that little inside, right? And I don't have an answer for that. If you translate what the kind of text says down at the bottom, it does kind of list what the trademark is for, and it licenses it for decorative magnets, software for commercial video game machines, telecommunication equipment, straps for mobile phones, parts and accessories for telecommunications equipment. So there's a lot of things going on, which I think that's just plain Japanese to have a lot of these phone decorations going on with all of these trademarks because they want to sell potentially merchandise for this, right? But I'm not sure it's actually going to be a mobile game because it didn't say it was specifically marketed for mobile. I don't know how trademarks necessarily work, but it seems like there's a lot of things talking about video game software for computers and other systems in there. So it seems like it's going to be a actual non-mobile game release. Now, that does mean we might get a Tactics Ogre collaboration for War of the Visions, which would be really cool. So where do I think this is going to release? What do I think about this? I'm super hyped. I think undoubtedly it'll probably be for the Nintendo Switch system. And what I'm really hoping for is the same team that's developing the 2D HD games is going to get their hands on this. I think that would make sense. I think with the success of Triangle Strategy, I don't think it's a coincidence that we are all of a sudden seeing this trademark filed. I think this is probably in response to the success of Triangle Strategy. You know, Square Enix is realizing that there is a market for tactical strategy games on the Nintendo Switch, which is kind of a new home for tactical strategy RPGs, it seems like, because there is a lot of good ones. If you haven't perused the Nintendo Switch store, and maybe I'll just make a good video about it. I mean, they have Dark Deity, they have, you know, a variety of indie tactical games that I wasn't expecting. I literally got on there the other day and I was cruising through it and I was like, wow, there's a lot of like indie tactical games I have not played. I don't even know their name. But I was looking at them, I admired their art style, and I was like, I could see myself playing this, right? So I don't know if that's going to be what is going to happen. I think that's most likely what's going to happen. Because if you think about the Nintendo Switch 2, the Nintendo Switch is not a very high performing power piece of equipment, right? So it makes sense that strategy games would be very successful on it, such as Advanced Wars 1 and 2 that's releasing here soon. Nintendo Switch even released with a strategy game in its primary lineup, right? That was going to be Mario and Rabbids, right? Which, you know, no matter what you think about it, of course, it's a relatively easy game, I would say. The XCOM style combat was really surprising for a Nintendo style console. I was not expecting that type of a game to release with the Nintendo Switch. So if you think about the history of the Nintendo Switch, if you think about, you know, what's been successful on the Nintendo Switch, a lot of the times it has been these strategy RPGs. And I have a feeling we're going to see that with Ogre Tactics. And hopefully it doesn't become a gacha game. I would probably still play it if it became a gacha game, but it does seem like we are going down the path right now of gacha games kind of being milked from Square Enix. Specifically, we have the Octopath Traveler gacha game. We have the Secret of Mana gacha game coming out. And the question that I ask myself is, how sustainable are those two gacha games? Particularly Octopath Traveler, which, you know, I did play in the beta. And while it was very cool, it was basically like playing a solo RPG experience as a gacha game, which was really a turnoff for me. And I found myself craving more combat. I actually, like, I don't think, it's been a while since I played a game where I wanted more combat and less story-driven kind of action. So I'm hoping we see some changes to Octopath and maybe Secret of Mana, and maybe they'll last. I'm scared though that if Ogre Battle comes out, it will not be sustainable as a gacha model, kind of very similar to War of the Visions, or at least if they release it for a gacha style, they release it with a PC client. I think it has to be released if it is a gacha style game as a PC client. I think that makes sense. I am also a little bit cautious that it may be released for PlayStation exclusive as well, because of the reason that the last Ogre Battle was released on PSP, and that was, what year is it? 12 years ago now. So I'm also kind of conscious that they could release it like a remastered version of the N64 version, which, you know, I looked at the footage of the N64 version and I might have played that. I do not remember playing that. I do remember playing Ogre Tactics. I do not remember playing the N64 version of that game. So I'm cautiously optimistic that Square Enix is going to go in the right direction with this. I think there's a lot of people in this community in particular that is going to be super hyped for this. No doubt Cabbage out there is going to be like squealing. He's probably the bigger Ogre Battle fan than I am, and I could just see him being like, ah, as soon as as soon as this got news and was out in the news sphere, because this has been out for a couple days now. So again, I'm interested to hear what you guys think. I'm curious if you're all excited for this. I know Triangle Strategy was pretty exciting for the tactical RPG community. I think Advanced Wars 1 and 2 is going to be a pretty big deal. And I'm wondering if you guys are, you know, maybe wanting a gacha version of Ogre Battle. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's the future of the franchise. I think they're going to go for a Nintendo Switch release with possibly a PlayStation release. But I mean, we're going to have to wait and see. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.